Do you want to listen to some epic songs about your favorite anime characters? Then check out our Anime Rap channel, link in the description. We all love a good old underdog show, where a weak character suddenly becomes badass with their hidden power. Hi guys, welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel. This is Anime Sensei, back with another great video. Today, we'll be counting down our pick for top 10 anime where the MC awakens true power. So, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon to get updated on more anime content and with that out of the way, let's just get into it. Toru Majutsu no Index. The first anime that we have for you is an old classic called Toru Majutsu no Index. Now, Toru is a particularly special show where our main focus, Kamuju Tuma, is not known for flashy abilities, but rather the lack of them. He's at the lowest psychic rank possible, at level 0, particularly because his special ability cannot be classified under any known magic measuring system. His power, Imagine Breaker, is a unique one, where it negates all magic, miracle, psychic abilities, and even divine powers. So, because of this ability, Kamuju can even negate God's blessing. Therefore, he has extremely bad luck. And maybe because of his bad luck, Kamuju comes across a mysterious young girl named Index Librorum Prohibitorum, who is on the run from a mysterious organization seeking to harm her. Having memorized the entirety of the Forbidden Grimoires library, Index is the target of the magicians and even the church, who wants to use her vast knowledge for their benefit. Perplexed by her circumstances, Kamuju decides to help Index, but this decision might have gotten him in even more trouble than he'd hoped for. Grand Crest Senki. After Toru Majutsu no Index, we have a bit of a controversial anime, Grand Crest Senki. Now, Grand Crest has a bit of an uncomfortable scene that we'll talk about in a bit, but for now, the premise follows Theo Cornero, who was an ordinary villager at one point, but due to some circumstance, he becomes a wandering knight and somehow gets his hands on an extraordinary power called Crest. The Crest grants him the right to contend for the position of a lord, and soon after this, he meets a young mage named Saluka. In the age of chaos, where lords are in constant feuds with one another over each other's crests, Theo strives for a world built on peace and justice. Now, as a young lord, the road ahead of Theo might be challenging, but with the help of his new mage Saluka, this ideal might not be a far-fetched dream after all. Just from this premise, you'd not think that Grand Crest could be disturbing, but since we can't have nice things, Grand Crest is known for a terrible cuckold scene that is extremely uncomfortable to say the least. If you're willing to ignore that, then Grand Crest has everything you need from a fantasy anime. Tsubasa Chronicle. Tsubasa Chronicle is another great classic on this list that's even considered a legendary anime according to some standards. The anime is renowned for its great storytelling, and, even more so, epic characters that we just can't seem to get enough of. It follows the story of a young boy, Sioran, who is the adopted son of an archaeologist. One day, during an excavation in the ancient ruins of the Cloud Kingdom, Sioran witnesses his childhood friend, Sakura the princess of Cloud Kingdom, suddenly appear on the site with wings that disperse all around her. Sioran later learns that those wings were actually Sakura's memories, and since they were connected to Sakura's heart, if they don't recover these memories quickly, her life could be in grave danger. Vowed to save his childhood friend, Sioran sets out on a journey with Sakura and some other companions to recover the scattered feathers and save Sakura from her impending death. Gakusen Toshi Asterisk. This anime is set in a post-apocalyptic world that got ravaged by a catastrophic event known as Inversia. After this calamity, the surviving humans formed an international governing body, Integrated Enterprise Foundation, to support the world's economy and somehow get humanity back on its feet. Following Inversia, an advanced race of humans with enhanced physical abilities starts to emerge worldwide. In order to control an epidemic of enhanced humans, IEF founded 6 schools where the elite of among these humans get trained and are allowed to take part in a series of entertainment battle arenas called Festas. In this world, Amagiri Ayato is a scholarship student at Seidukan Academy. Now, Ayato here is our typical dense protagonist, who's in search of his long-lost older sister and a purpose in life. He's proficient in his family's Amagiri Shinryu art style and is quite skilled with a sword. After a series of events, Amagiri befriends Julis, the crown princess of the kingdom of Lysseltania, and even gets partnered up with her to participate in the fest. But that's not all. Amagiri learns that his older sister also competed in the festas right before her disappearance, and slowly uncovers the bitter truth behind her disappearance. Strike the Blood. Strike the Blood is a typical harem anime that follows Kuju Akatsuki, a high school student who lives in the demon district of the Itogami Island. Now, Kuju was an average high schooler by all means at one point, but 3 months before the start of the show, he had an encounter with a primogenitor. Although Koju does not remember anything from that confrontation, after the incident, he was left with the vampire's exceptional abilities and became the fourth primogenitor, a being so powerful that he's said to only exist in legend. Fearing his power, the Lion King organization, which is responsible for overlooking public safety, sends over an apprentice, sword shaman Yukina Himuragi, to watch over him. But as fate might have it, there are more people after Koju's immense power, which forces him to not only maintain peace in the Demon District, but also protect the entire Itogami Island from the forces that are lurking in the dark. Kinzen Robo Daimadaler. Being a typical harem comedy, Kinzen Robo Daimadaler follows Kuchi Mandabashi, who's an outspoken perv. He does not care about what anyone thinks and has a crazed obsession with Big Cup. His obsession with him is so great that Kuchi has a tendency to produce extremely high levels of high aero particles when he's in contact with, big bosoms. These aero particles are an essential power source used to operate the mecha robots known as Daimadaler. Facing the invading Penguin Empire, the organization needs Kuchi's extraordinary power to face off against them and then somehow repel their forces, save the humans of their world. Witchcraft Works. Now, Witchcraft Works is one of the more hilarious, unique titles on this list. It follows the life of a seemingly average high schooler, Honoka Takamiya, who just wants to live an inauspicious life. He likes things to be normal and lazies around all day without any worry. But despite his efforts to stay under the radar, he gets bullied by the Princess of Togetsu's unofficial fan club because he gets to sit right next to her in class. Honoka thinks that the school idol, Ayaka Kagari, way beyond his league, so he has never even tried to approach her. Everything seems normal until one day, Honoka suddenly gets attacked by a mysterious witch. As he's running away, he gets saved by Ayaka, who reveals that she is the Fire Witch, who's on a mission to protect Honoka and the power that resides within him. As Honoka is surprised by these revelations, he gets thrown into a power struggle between the Workshop Witches and the Tower Witches, where the previous wants to protect Honoka, and the latter seeks to steal his powers. High School DxD. Just like Kinzen Robo Daimadaler, High School DxD is also a somewhat risque show with a slightly similar premise to go along with it. The anime follows a second-year high school, Issei Hyodo, well-known lecherous and a pervert among his peers. On the surface, he may look like a typical high schooler, coming from a normal family, but Issei is the biggest recorded pervert in the Kuo Academy's history. But despite this, for some reason, Issei gets asked out by a beautiful girl. As things are looking up for him in life, Issei goes out on his first date. But to his surprise, the girl turns out to be a fallen angel who kills him on their first date. However, just then, he gets revived as the servant of a high-ranking devil, Rias Grimory. Adjusting to his new life now, Issei has to face off against the angels and devils alike to survive and become more powerful in order to fulfill his long-held dream of having a harem. Kore wa Zombie Desuka. Kore wa Zombie Desuka is by far the most hilarious show on this list, with some of the best openings in anime. Its main focus, Ayumu Ayakawa, gets murdered while he's on his way back from high school, but then awakens beside a strange girl wearing medieval armor. Named Euclid Hellscythe, she reveals that she is, in fact, the necromancer who has now revived Ayumu as a zombie. Now immortal, Ayumu sets out to investigate the mysterious murders in hopes of catching the killer, but in one of his incursions inside a cemetery, Ayumu comes across a magical girl fighting a bear with a chainsaw. Haruna, bolstering her magical girl abilities, kills the beast and then tries to erase Ayumu's memory of her, but he instead absorbs Haruna's magical girl abilities. Stripped of her powers now, Haruna orders Ayumu to take on the mantle of Maho Shoujo in her stead and defeat the monster known as Megalo as a magical girl. Ayumu, perplexed by the situation, now has to live his life as a human-turned-zombie-turned-magical girl and then somehow find his killer while also juggling through his life as a high school student. Shinmai Mao no Testament. And at the last, we have the one and only Shinmai Mao no Testament. Now Shinmai here takes a lot of inspiration from one of the previous entries on this list, High School DxD, and has a similar premise, but with its own twist to make it different. The anime follows Basara Tojo, a high schooler living alone with his father Jin. But as we all know, anime cannot be normal, so Tojo's father just casually brings home two young girls one day and proclaims them to be Tojo's sisters from his second marriage. And shortly after this revelation, Jin leaves on a trip abroad, leaving Todo with his two sisters all alone on his own. Shortly after this, the two sisters, Mio and Maria, reveal themselves to be demons. To their surprise, Todo also exposes his identity as the descendant of the Hero clan, their eternal enemy. But since they're family now, Todo vows to protect both Mio and Maria against the demons, after Mio and Maria and the Hero Clan members observe his every move, sparking an interesting dynamic relationship between the trio, leading on to risque adventures and more. So, that's it guys, our list of top 10 anime where the MC awakens his true powers. Be sure to leave a comment and hit that subscribe button if you liked the video. See you in the next one guys, adios!